In Nicaragua, in the beautiful town of León, an organization called SONATI aims to provide free environmental education to the school children of the city and the surrounding region.
Some of the activities are indoor activities, either games for kindergarten or lectures with videos for high school or primary school children. Besides this, we have outdoor activities. We always prefer to carry out outdoor activities. Besides this, we have different recycling activities, both like in the schools or in the city, involving the children in these activities. And we have direct nature conservation activities, establishing a reserve with a community and some families 1.5 hours from here, more or less.
Like so many charities in Central America, SONATI raise their money through tourism. They own this hostel here in the middle of town, and what a lot of the volunteers do in their work is to help with the running of it.
I've been trying to do Central America a little while, and I'd earmarked Nicaragua as a place I'd like to spend some time. When I came across SONATI, I spoke to Nani who owned the place, and he decided that yeah, I could volunteer here, there was space, and kind of went from there really. I spent a month here now, and yeah, won't look back. It's been a good adventure. The work you get is in return for a bed here in the dormitory. You get full use of the facilities here as well, and you get to go on any of the tours that they offer.
The second way in which SONATI earns the money that it uses for the environmental education projects is through tours that it runs from the hostel. We're just embarking on a massive trek up a volcano called Tilica, and our guides are two of the volunteers, Alexa and Turner.
SONATI really tries to focus on the environmental aspects of you know, the treks that everybody else goes on. You know,
that's kind of the focus for them. Really is the flora and fauna that you're seeing, and that's kind of the angle that they come from.
When I envisaged trekking through a Nicaraguan forest, I kind of thought we'd be hacking our way through a dense rainforest. But actually, it's tropical dry forest here. It's very arid. But it didn't always used to be so sparse and arid as this. I was told actually that of the original tropical dry forest here, there is now only 2% remaining. Staggering. But that just highlights the importance of environmental education projects such as SONATI. Without them, you could quite easily see an incredible ecosystem such as this disappearing altogether.
And it is incredibly hot and dry here. As you can probably see, I'm covered in dust. It's a pretty tough hike.
You're not the one carrying the massive bag.
I have been, alright? I have been.
Well, we do a couple other tours. We climb the highest volcano in Nicaragua, which is San Cristobal. We also go to the very northwestern tip of Nicaragua, and from there you can see El Salvador, Honduras, the Gulf of Fonseca, as well as the Pacific Ocean. They're all great tours, but yeah, very different.
Things that no one ever knew. I think that if you know me.
We've seen some pretty beautiful places on this trip. But watching this sunset from atop of a live volcano is really one of the best. And the fact that the volunteers here get to do this for free, but also to earn money for a worthy cause is just incredible.
It's not because I'm broken, it's not because I feel bad. I think that if you know me, you would not be so sad. Do you remember the
Whoa. Well, we've gone from being on top of a volcano to being on top of a horse. in just a matter of hours. We're staying at a farm that's owned by a local family. They also own a local reserve, along with 3 other families and Sonati. And what Sonati do here is they bring in some volunteers and some tourism, which generates a bit of revenue and also helps out around the reserve. If I seem a little nervous, it's because I've never ridden a horse before, or probably even touched a horse. But you're doing alright, aren't we, Sheila? Come on, old girl. Up.
Great drop of rain fell at my feet today, and in that pretty puddle saw your face again. Well, crocodile tears ran down my face that day.
A couple of the current volunteers here at Sonati have been heavily involved in a recycling project, and they've been staying here at the reserve in order to make this mural at the local school in the community. It's made mostly out of old flip-flops and bottle caps, and it reads "Cuidamos el medio ambiente," which loosely translates as "Let's look after the environment."
For a cloudy day.
Yo quería hacer algo con el medio ambiente y me gustó mucho que tienen diferentes proyectos en que se puede trabajar con niños o con jóvenes, mostrando cómo cuidar el medio ambiente, qué hacer con basura. Y también estoy en cursos de reciclaje con jóvenes, donde hacemos espejos de vidrio roto o lámparas de botellas plásticas o basurero también de botellas plásticas, que es muy necesario en las escuelas porque muchas veces no hay basureros y la basura está en todos lados.
I think we've definitely found along this trip that working with volunteer projects abroad is an incredible way to see a country. More often than not, the projects tend to be off the well-beaten tourist track, and they often work closely with local communities, which means you get a really genuine impression of what the culture of a country is like. And as cheesy as it sounds, I think for me that's really where the heart of a country lies, is within its culture.
Hemos convivido con todos los que vienen y yo siento que lo sentimos como en familia. Los turistas que han venido son de muchas partes. Ya tenemos 2 años de recibir turistas que se acomodan con nosotros y para nosotros es un placer y que ellos tengan confianza con nosotros y nosotros con ellos, pues, porque ya los vamos criando como familia y los queremos como familia. Sí.
Bueno, hasta ahora siempre nos hemos llevado muy bien con ellos, siempre nos han apoyado mucho con la reserva y pues nos gusta tratar de saber cosas de ellos y enseñarles nuestras costumbres, nuestra forma de ser y pues nos hemos llevado muy bien siempre.
Sonati is a really unique and interesting project in that it has its own means of generating an income. And I think that this gives it a real financial stability that some of the other projects we've visited haven't really had. And I think I really like the idea that Sonati has of taking money in from foreigners, from tourists, and plugging it back into the community, which ultimately means that in future years they should be able to continue doing their good work.
For our last day here with Sonati, we're heading up another volcano. This time it's not for the gorgeous sunrise. Volcano boarding. Which is exactly what you'd imagine it to be.
There is a map on the back of my car seat. Take it out when I'm feeling lost, and I look up your number.